So welcome friends, what if Naruto? Escaping the Pokémon Cave with Zoroark. Talk. Thought. Don't know, you guess. This is all is need now, so on to the story. Poke Naru. Why don't they just leave me alone? 8-year-old Uchiha Sasuke thought after a week since the Uchiha massacre. Everyone had been pitying the last Uchiha and giving him special treatment. However, Sasuke was smart enough to see behind the kindness. For some reason, people didn't like him. He didn't notice it much while the rest of the clan was alive, but now that all the Uchiha but he was dead, Sasuke realized Konoha citizens didn't exactly like the Uchiha clan. But, then again, some of the clan did act like jerks from what Sasuke remembered, and it could have made a bias against his clan because of it. Sasuke's eyes narrowed at his reflection in the water which he was looking into a pond. He decided at best to ignore the morons that were the villagers. He had to focus on getting stronger so he could avenge his clan. Hey, are you just going to sit there and mop? Sasuke blinked and turned around with shock, only to frown when he saw a blonde-haired 8-year-old boy standing there with a frown on his strangely whisker-marked face. The boy's sapphire blue eyes glaring at Sasuke, who just returned the glare at the boy, both locked in a scold. What do you want? Sasuke growled, wondering if the boy wanted to play with him. He didn't have time for such foolish things. I want you to stop brooding and do something, the whiskered kid growled back. What are you talking about? Sasuke asked, annoyed someone was asking him to do something. No, ordering him to do something. Stop being an emo and do something instead of sitting in front of this lake. I don't care what you do. If you keep being an idiot and sit here, you're going to rot away into nothing. The boy snorted at Sasuke. Stop thinking of the past and move on. Sasuke glared, became heated at the boy. How could he not think of the past? He just lost his clan to his own bro. No. That man was no longer his brother. This idiot had no idea what pain he is feeling. HMPH. Sasuke snorted and went back to looking into the water. If he ignored the boy, then he would go away. He had to focus on act. Sasuke shouted as he was pushed off the deck he was on and into the water. He gasped when getting above the water and saw the blonde-haired boy grinning. Maybe that will wake you up and let you see better, the boy chimed, not noticing anger boiling up in Sasuke. He didn't who this kid was, he was dead. I'm going to kill you, Sasuke shouted, getting out of the water and chasing the blonde, who then realized Sasuke was serious and bolted. How dare you do that to Sasuke-kun? Sasuke blinked to see a pink hair girl from his class and his fan club. Usually, he would hate having a fangirl next to him, but he didn't mind this time as he wanted to make sure to kill the blonde-haired boy. Though Sasuke noted that the pink-haired girl at least was fast as they managed to chase the now panicking boy into the woods, remembering she wasn't doing so good in taijutsu in the academy. Crap. The blonde skidded to a stop when he stopped in front of the bottom of a cliff with rocky sides, giving Sasuke and his fangirl the advantage they needed. You're going to pay for doing that. Sasuke growled, popping his knuckles as the blonde-haired child sweated in total fear. I was just trying to get you out of your depressing mood, the boy tried to explain. Well, good job, now I am angry, Sasuke said as both his fangirl, though she was panting hard from the run, moved forward, ready to beat the boy. Crumble. Huh. What's that? All three 8-year-olds blinked, hearing rumbling before they felt the ground beneath them shift. Huh? All three looked down just in time to see the ground beneath them crumble away, and they screamed as they fell into the cave below. Poke Cave. Ow. Haruno Sakura groaned as she recovered from falling, but found barely any light. Could you please get off? Sakura quickly jumped up and saw she had been sitting on top of her crush, Uchiha Sasuke. Oh, I am so sorry. Sakura bowed before noticing they were in some kind of cave. Where are we? Sasuke shrugged while getting up, noticing oddly both his fangirl and he escaped with just a few cuts from the fall. I don't know and don't care. All I want to do is kill. Cough. Both Sakura and Sasuke looked down and both 8-year-olds recoiled in horror seeing the very blonde-haired boy they had been chasing lying on the ground, coughing up blood while clearly having a lot more damage than them both in cuts. Cough, you alright? How can you be saying that with looking like that? Sakura screamed in fear as Sasuke knelt down to the boy. Cough, take that as a yes, cough, but I miscalculated on catching you both and I think I damaged one of my lungs, cough, when the girl landed on me. The boy grinned. Do you even know what miscalculated means? Sasuke snorted, trying his best to keep tears from falling, and he was failing. The same jerk of a boy who pushed him into a pond just possibly saved his life by sacrificing his own. Life was not supposed to work like this. Yes, cough, now, help me get out of cough this spot. This place here might cave in, cough. The boy hacked, pointing up for both to look at the ceiling where the hole of where they fell into had large cracks around the hole. I know cough we aren't getting out that cough way. The boy held his arms up for Sasuke to grab them and help the child up and get it so one of boy's arms was over his back and they began walking into the cave network. Oh. Lucky. Sakura chimed, pulling a small flashlight out of her pocket of her dress. I was planning to stay over at a friend's house and have a slumber party with her, but we got in a fight and I forgot to take this out of my pocket as we were also planning to tell ghost stories. Sakura said, turning the flashlight on only for the three to hear rumbling behind them. Move. The boy shouted for Sakura to join in helping the injured child to move with Sasuke just before the ceiling around where they landed collapsed and sealed them within the tunnel. Even though cough waiting for someone would cough sound like a good idea, with that collapse cough many will probably think we died or not notice where we have gone cough for a while. The boy wiped the blood he coughed up with his arm while looking at the tunnel. This is a cave made from water cough. I remember reading about such caves while in the hospital. Cough. In the hospital? Sakura asked as Sasuke flinched. This child had been in the hospital? Could he have also lost his family, but in a different way than me? Sasuke thought, wondering now if the boy really did know his pain. Yeah, I have no parents, but since I am kind of non-existent to people, the orphanage owners often forgot to feed me and such. Not that I cared, they already had enough kids to worry about, so I tried to do it all myself. Though, sadly, I kept ending up in the hospital thanks to having accidents and my health not being good as I was skinny. I mean Oji-san worries too much, but he gave me my own apartment when I was 5, so I am not complaining. The boy gasped, glad he could talk better as the coughing was lessening. Oji-san? Sasuke asked with a frown on his face. The Hokage. Sure, he's the Hokage, but don't you think he gets tired of being called Hokage-sama all the time? The boy sighed before having a really bad coughing fit. Are you alright? Sasuke asked, hoping the kid wasn't dying on him. Yeah, I am a quick healer and for some reason I can survive some pretty bad wounds as I once slashed my leg and was bleeding badly, but after 2 days in the hospital, my leg was healed with just being wrapped up and disinfected. The boy sighed. My name is Cough Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. Then, why did you push me Uchiha Sasuke into a pond? Sasuke growled, still somewhat mad at Naruto for what he did. Even though I don't know what it's like to really lose my family as I never had family, your eyes are the same as me. I didn't want someone else to go through a loss like that alone as loneliness is a very painful thing. But I know you wouldn't want to be my friend, so I was trying to get you to go and make a friend with someone else. When you don't do anything and let the loneliness shallow you up completely, you neither go forward or backwards. I just wanted to make sure you at least got going forward with your life. Sasuke looked at Naruto with shock. Could it be my brother was setting me up to ruin my own revenge? Sasuke thought in shock while Sakura remembered Naruto. You're the boy my parents stopped me from making friends with, Sakura said as Sasuke looked at his fangirl with shock. I saw you all alone at the park and I wanted to play with you, but my parents wouldn't let me, saying you was bad. I see in some ways you are, but you seem also to have a big heart. Sakura sighed as Naruto just looked at the ground. Yeah, I know, I just wish people would stop seeing me as something to hate and see the real me, Naruto lowly sighed, but Sasuke and Sakura heard his comment. But cough, let's get going. Use cough a rock to mark the wall so we can see where we have been, Naruto ordered as Sakura picked up an rock and did as Naruto told before they walked deeper into the tunnel, till they ended up walking into another pitfall. Aye! All three screamed before landing in a rushing torrent and was swept away. Huh? A dark-haired boy cocked his head as he could have heard something. Psyduck Psy, the orange-yellow duck-like creature that was walking upward cocked its head, also confused. My imagination is acting up again. The 13-year-old boy with wild hair from it being unkept for a long time sighed. Aye! The boy jumped as he heard screaming before a splash. Crap, I know I didn't imagine that, the pale boy shouted, running towards the falls where the water supply came from. Psyduck duck, the duck shouted, struggling to run after his friend. Gasp! Sasuke gasped as he managed to surface. He saw Sakura got out from under the water, but he panicked when he didn't see Naruto. Crap! Sasuke dived underwater to see Naruto sinking and swam towards Naruto. He grabbed the blonde and pulled him to the surface. Cough! 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 Naruto coughed as Sasuke dragged into the shore where Sakura was at, panting. Cough, thanks, Naruto panted as Sakura looked at where they were. Wow! Sasuke looked at Sakura only to gap at what she was seeing. Somehow, they ended up in a vast forest inside a large dome-like cave with lots of waterfalls coming smaller caves as other caves lined the dome with the top ones letting light into the crystals at the top and somewhat everywhere, making the light go everywhere. However, they could see many bugs and birds they never seen before flying around the cave, as well as the fact that oddly enough the cave was so big that there were even clouds near the ceiling, and dark clouds at that. We need to find cough shelter. Naruto sighed as his chest was burning with pain. That, he knew, meant he was healing from whatever happened to his body from the fall, or now falls. Yeah, Sasuke sighed while pulling Naruto up only to look to the side when he hears rustling. Ack! Sasuke was knocked down a black blur that went through the bushes and hit the ground. What is that? Sakura shouted as Sasuke turned to see a black fox-looking creature standing on its back legs, as it had a mane of red hair with black spiked ends and a blue orb on the end too for a blush-like end with red tip as well as long red claws. However, its eyes were a very light, but intense blue like the orb in its mane. However, Sasuke's eyes were more focused on what the creature had in its front paws. Naruto! Sasuke shouted as the creature growled while Naruto was holding onto the creature, holding him bridle style, as the creature had ran up a cliff and was near the top and he rather not hit a surface hard again today. Wait! Stop! Sasuke shouted as the creature ran off with Naruto coughing and trying to yelp for help as Sakura and Sasuke tried to catch up with the creature, but due to the fact it used the rock wall of the dome cave to aid its escape and it was a lot faster, they lost track of the creature. We just lost Naruto. Sakura's eyes watered up as she collapsed to her knees. That thing is probably going to eat him. Sasuke frowned while looking at last where they saw Naruto and the creature. No, we will find him and save him. Sakura looked at Sasuke, who had a serious look in his eyes. None of us are going to die and I am going to make sure of it. Ow! Sasuke and Sakura instantly turned around hearing rustling again, but much to their shock a teenager came out of the bushes. Damn, I forgot that root there, the boy grumbled, wearing rag-like clothing while his hair was a light black hue and his eyes were very dull gray with slightly darker pupils. Who are you? Sakura asked as the teenager looked at her. So, I wasn't hearing things, so, who are you? Are you from the surface? How old are you? Sakura shrank back as the person began asking her questions while standing before her. Sigh duck, duck. Sakura and Sasuke blinked as a duck-looking creature ran out of the bushes only to trip on its feet and land on its face. Sigh. More people from the surface. Sakura sweated as did Sasuke as the duck got up and waddled over to the weird teen. What have you been drinking? Sasuke sighed, wanting to get away from this weirdo and go find Naruto to save him. Oh, there are two of you? The teen asked as a vein appeared on Sasuke's forehead. I have been here the whole time. Sasuke sighed, dropping it as he had to focus on Naruto. Sorry, but, since we are near the falls, my hearing can't pick up the smaller sounds I need to tell where people and stuff is. The teen sighed. But, who are you? Name's Itachi and my pal is Sai. I'm Sakura. Sakura sighed while Sasuke looked at Itachi, with shock. But, how do we get out of this place? Sakura asked while looking at Sasuke, showing she wanted to at least get out of this place once they found Naruto. No clue. I've been stuck here for a long while. The teen sighed as both 8-year-olds sweated. Tried once, but I never tried getting out of here again after getting chased by an exploud in the caves. It took my ears 3 days to recover that loud, scary situation. Exploud? Sasuke asked as Sakura looked at the duck that had its hands on its head and cocking his head. Yeah, there are these old buildings I found and I found this useful device for this area. The teen pulled out a red device and flipped it open to where it had 2 screens and pointed it towards the duck creature. Psyduck, the duck Pokemon. It is always holding its head because of a headache. If its chronic headaches peak, it may exhibit odd powers. It seems, thought, it can never recall such episodes. A strange male voice came up while a picture of the duck had appeared on the screen. Then what's a Pokemon? Sakura asked, confused now. Don't know, except they're the creatures that live here and my pal here is one. It's kind of hard though to really feel out of place here when you can't see. Itachi sighed as both Sakura and Sasuke looked at him with horror. But, I don't mind. Even though I am suffering from amnesia, for some reason I feel fine without my sight. I guess it possibly relates to how I got here, as I last remember was seeing through my fading vision that my shoulder getting jagged by a knife and falling into a river that lead into here through a cave, and during that time, I went blind. It's been at least 2 or 3 years as I kind of lost count of how long I have been down here. Itachi sighed, showing them his scar to prove his story, as they also saw his shoulder was also misshapen some by the scar, though still perfectly useful even by shinobi standards. But, what's your full name? Sasuke asked, wondering if, that possibly this kid was who he thinks this person is. Uppu, Uchi, Uchiwa. Then it hit Sasuke like a ton of kunai. Uchiha Itachi? Sasuke asked, his voice breaking some with his blank face as Itachi snapped. Yeah, that's right. That's my name, Itachi chimed as Sakura looked at the teen with distrust and fear. She knew as well as Sasuke that Uchiha Itachi was the murderer of the Uchiha clan. Is there anything else you remember? Sasuke asked, wanting to know if this was the real Uchiha Itachi. Not really, but I do have a dream often of poking a boy in the forehead and calling him my little brother and apologizing to him. It always makes me sad. Sakura blinked as Sasuke hugged this Itachi. I'm your brother, Uchiha Sasuke, so, hick, the Itachi I thought was my brother, hick. That traitor that killed my family, wasn't my brother is still alive. Sasuke began to cry much to Sakura's shock. I'm so confused. Sasuke's eyes widened when Itachi ruffled his hair. It's alright, I'm confused as well, but I guess I no longer have a family to go back to except you. Itachi sighed, even though he could see, his eyes were looking at Sasuke with caring in them. I don't have parents. Sasuke's eyes widened as he remembered Naruto and got off of Itachi. Hey, do you know of a fox-like creature that is? Oh, yeah, you can't see. Sasuke sighed as Itachi's eyebrow twitched. Here. I can use this device to find the creature you're looking for. Itachi pulled a stylus out and touched the bottom screen for a bunch of smaller pictures of creatures to appear as Sasuke and Sakura got behind Itachi. Just tell me to stop when I get to where the creature's info is. Itachi sighed while flipping through pages within the device till Sasuke the creature. Stop. That's it. Sasuke shouted before finding Itachi's hearing was sensitive as flinched from pain. Alright, Itachi said while touching the creature's picture with Sasuke's help. Zoroark, the monster fox Pokémon. It has the ability to take on the form of other Pokémon and beings and it often uses this ability for either mischief or hiding. But we don't know why it took Naruto. Sakura sighed as the info didn't give them a clue. Wait. I know of Zoroark. Sasuke and Sakura looked at Itachi with shock. Zoroark is really rare, so the Pokémon always have rumors going around if a rare Pokémon is around. You can understand these creatures? Sakura asked while pointing at Sai the Psyduck. Yeah, you figure out the pattern of how they speak after listening for a while. Itachi sighed as Sakura and Sasuke sweated, realizing this might be a mistake as they were asking a blind person to help them find their friend. Poke Cave. Naruto groaned as he woke up, having passed out from being tired and the pain from his wounds in the creature's arm only to see he was in some kind of cave and laying on some leaves made into a comfortable bed. I got to get out of here, Naruto thought, thankful that now his chest was just aching dully as a sign he was almost completely healed. He saw the opening of the cave and sprinted for it. However, the breath was knocked out of him when something yanked him from around the stomach and stopped him. Cough cough cough. Naruto hacked up blood from the sudden jerk and looked down to find her had been tied up to a rock with a vine-made rope. He, however, focused more on the creature that had kidnapped him as it was standing in front of him in the cave entrance, looking at him. Oh no, I'm totally dead. Naruto thought as the creature walked up towards him. Ack! Naruto gasped when the canine creature tied him directly to the rock. This was it. Uzumaki Naruto was about to be eaten by a monster fox. Kind of ironic as he remembered some villagers sneering lowly he was a monster, fox, and also demon. Pat pat pat. Nani? Naruto blinked as the fox was petting him or the top of his hair like a person does to their pet before moving away from Naruto and shook its head for several objects to come out of its mane, but then two smaller fox-looking pups. They were mainly black with red markings and walked on all fours paws which were small compared to the larger fox. The little foxes walked up to Naruto and sniffed him before licking him and one jumped onto his body to where it landed on his hair, laying there as it was conformable. What the heck is going on? Naruto thought before seeing the bigger fox had started a fire and put a pot on it before putting oddly clear water and put it to a boil before putting other items into the pot. It's letting its babies play with me as it prepares to cook me, Naruto thought in horror, watching the creature made something in the pot, finishing with putting some hairs into the bubbling liquid before its hands sparked and lit up the liquid for it to be smoking white. It then drug into its mane and pulled out a soup ladle which it put some of the liquid in and went over to Naruto. Poke Naru. Oh, Naruto groaned, waking up with a painful headache. Did I accidentally take the wrong shortcut again and walked into the spot where drunks brawl it out in the streets and got hit by a bottle? Naruto sleepily blinked to see he was in a cave and instantly remembered what had happened. No, it wasn't a dream. I was kidnapped by a fox monster. It seems that brew didn't work as well as I wanted. Naruto froze, hearing a female voice. No matter. At least his fur matches. Oh, you're awake, my new pup. Naruto gaped in fear as the fox monster from before it patted his head. I'm not going to let anyone harm you, my pup. Nani? Naruto asked as the fox hugged him and rubbed something on his head. Zoo. Naruto melted while the fox untied him. Now, be a good boy and behave while mommy goes get breakfast. Naruto blinked as the fox began to walk towards the exit of the cave. Here's my chance. Naruto ran forward, feeling completely healed from before. The fox looked at Naruto with shock as Naruto almost got to the exit of the cave only to get yanked back as he still had the rope tied around his waist which was connected to the rock he was tied to earlier. Oh, ow. Note for once I am a ninja, make sure to check if you're not tied around the waist. Naruto growled, trying to bite the rope off before yelping when the fox whacked him across the head. No, pup. Since you didn't completely turn into the form I wanted like you to be, I can't take you with me. Now behave or I will tie you back onto the rock like before. Naruto blinked in confusion. Form you wanted me like to be? Naruto asked before noticing a small puddle near the opening that was close enough that he could reach and looked at his reflection. Naruto's face was blank as he saw he had fox ears where his normal ears should be. 3 dark blue dots on his forehead as well as his top eyelids were now a similar color as the dots, and then he turned around to find a cute, small curl blonde tail was now on his rear. No, I'm really a fox monster now, Naruto cried, getting into the fetal position which caused the fox monster to shrug and jump out of the cave. There's no way I can go back to the village like this, either people will attack me as they already hate me and call me fox or I will be locked up and made into a zoo exhibit. Naruto moaned, all his will of fire had turned into a weak little candle flame. Naruto. You in there? Naruto instantly jumped and turned around to see Sasuke and Sakura looking at him. Naruto instantly shrank in fear as the two stared at him. They're probably going to abandon me now that I am a fox monster. Naruto felt the pit of despair continue to grow in his stomach. They're real? Naruto mewed as Sakura scratched his ears as Sasuke blinked in shock. So cute. Sakura cooed while Sasuke pulled out a practice kunai and used it to cut Naruto free. You guys don't see me as a monster? Naruto pouted, looking down before yelping when Sasuke pulled one of his new ears. Baka. We came to save you, so let's go before the Zoroark gets back. Sasuke sighed before Sakura and he sweated as Naruto was laying on the ground, depressed. It's no use. I was already called Fox and Demon because of my whisker birthmarks. Now that I really am a fox, then this could get ugly if I got back to Konoha. Naruto groaned before getting grabbed by Sasuke. If that creature made you like this, then there should be a cure to make you back to normal where in this cave world. Sasuke growled as Naruto looked at Sasuke with shock. Yeah, we'll help you find cure, though the ears are cute. Sakura whined, though they would be cuter on Sasuke. Hick, thanks, Naruto cried as Sasuke helped him down the cliff as it was pretty steep and Naruto could not stop crying. Cave Naru. This is a first for me. Naruto nervously trembled as Itachi felt his tail. The four were sitting in a decaying building with other buildings in similar condition around as if it was a small town that once existed. Oh, yeah. Psyduck reads a lot and told me about a book that was stolen from his library which was a Pokémon witch's book. A Pokémon witch book? Sakura asked, suspicious of witches. Hi, from what Psyduck read from it, it is really a person who uses ingredients from Pokémon to make potions for various effects. He also remembers there is a potion where it would make it possible for humans to understand Pokémon, possibly by making them into Pokémon. Itachi sighed as Psyduck cocked its head. So, I'm a Pokémon now. Naruto cried, not liking this one bit. He was a monster. How could someone prove to people that think he is a monster that he is not when now he is indeed one? Yeah, though it could not last long as most potions in the book have a time limit from what Psyduck has read to me. Since I can't see, he reads for me. Itachi frowned, but if it is permanent, then there should antidote to it in the book. So, there's a chance for me to be human again. Naruto chimed, his eyes lighting up as his fire will suddenly become roaring flames once more. Hi. But, Sasuke and Sakura said you were injured, so we'll rest here some while planning on getting that book back. Itachi ruffled Naruto's hair. However, Naruto pouted at them. I'm fine. I heal faster than most people and that potion sped up my healing as I know broken ribs for me take about possibly 3 days at least to heal. Naruto chimed, patting his ribs to point out he wasn't coughing like before. Nani? How could you heal that fast? You were coughing up blood hours ago. Sakura shouted as Naruto blinked. Hours? But isn't it morning? Naruto cocked his head as Sakura and Sasuke were the ones now confused. Psyduck. The duck Pokemon was next to Itachi's side. Yeah, it is. Sasuke and Sakura looked at Itachi with shock. If you noticed the crystals became dark earlier was because as the sun rises and sets on the surface, the light from the crystals change as I think they reach the surface and are affected by light on the surface. Itachi sighed as both 8-year-olds glared at Itachi. Or, that's what Psyduck told me. I can't see, but I can sense the power of the light changes in strength to when it is daytime and nighttime on my skin. Naruto narrowed his eyes at Itachi, noticing something off. Hey, who is this person? Naruto asked, very suspicious. This is my brother, Itachi. Sasuke smiled, very happy to find he was not really betrayed by his brother. It seems the real person who killed the clan was a fake and had replaced my brother by getting rid of him 2 or so years ago, and he ended up in this place. Brother, Sasuke, do brothers have boobs? Naruto asked, poking one of the 2 slight large bumps on Itachi's upper chest as Itachi raised an eyebrow. Naruto. Wham. Hool. Naruto howled in pain while holding the large bump Sakura gave him as Sasuke looked closer to be horrified that his brother was indeed a sister. Huh? What are boobs? Itachi innocently asked for all 3 to blankly look at the oldest in the group. Oh, that's right, you have anemsia, and since you spent the last few years here around Pokémon and blind, that would explain why would not know the differences between boys and girls. Sasuke smacked his forehead, though if his brother was really a girl, why the heck did everyone in the clan call Itachi a boy, and why would the imposter make himself male as well? Or, could have his clan really been the ones who gotten rid of his brother, sister? I'm so confused. Sasuke sighed before yawning. We best rest. Itachi sighed, moving to a chest and pulling out some blankets in good condition. After what you all went through, I bet you are all tired. I'm not, but I'll stay awake to keep watch. Naruto chimed as Sasuke and Sakura nodded. I'm not tired yet, so I will stay up with Naruto as well for a bit. Itachi smiled as both 8-year-olds took the blankets and found where Itachi had made a bed and got ready to sleep, as they were both pretty tired. Cave Naru. Zoroark, the dark fox Pokemon, came into her cave, very happy to the point she had collected so many berries that she was carrying the extras in her arms. She gave birth to 3 Zorua, one with very strange color fur that was yellow and from a few years ago. However, several years ago, 8 to be exact, the yellow Zorua disappeared. In her grief, lashing at stone pillars and collecting things, she saw the perfect replacement for her lost child. A human boy with matching fur and fox-like features, a human version of her pup. Though the old potion did not work exactly the way she wanted, but she now had a new pup. What the? Zoroark gasped, dropping her berries as she saw the rope she had around her new pup cut and her pup gone. No, where did he go? Huh? Where did our new older brother go? The 2 Zorua in the Zoroark's mane peeked out. I wanted to play with him, the other kid whined as well. Roar! Zoroark roared before sniffing the ground and her eyes widened. This scent, those 2 other humans? Zoroark thought, remembering the human her now pup had been with. Are they family? Sure, the humans all had different color furs, but it was possible as humans oddly had strange color furs from what she saw walking among humans to see what was on the surface, where she had seen her now pup before and instantly saw her chance seeing him down in the caves. He would not be missed. All the other humans ignored him. They even called the boy a fox, making her wonder if he was indeed her pup, just had become human. A boy with no family and in need of love, or so she thought. Ma, what are you doing? The 2 Zorua asked as Zoroark went over to the brew she had made and smirked. You're going to be getting more family members. Zoroark dug through some of the items she had stole from the surface and pulled out several bamboo canteens, which she quickly filled up with the brew before hopping out of the cave and heading following the scent. It didn't take Zoroark a long time to find where her new pup was at. So, you were hated back on the surface. Zoroark narrowed her eyes at the human she had seen before. Why is that human with my pup? Zoroark growled, furious. She did not like humans. She accidentally dissolved her illusion once and ended up nearly being killed because of it, being called a demon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but I guess it is because I have these whisker birthmarks. Zoroark raised an eyebrow. I know the Kyuubi no Yoko attacked around my birthday, so I guess since the fox demon attacked our village, people sort of became to hate me because I look like one. Which is why you're scared now as you have fox ears and tail. Zoroark's eyes widened in shock. Yeah, how can I prove people I am not a monster when now I am one? Her new pup sighed, tears in his sapphire blue eyes. He is sad and in pain. Zoroark thought, gripping a branch. I want to become Hokage so people can finally see me. That's a stupid reason. Zoroark's eyes widened at the dark fur human. I don't know what a Hokage is, but if you were just wanting attention, would it make your life pretty shallow? Zoroark watched as her pup looked at the ground. I know, but I'm kind of non-existent, so I first want people to notice me, so that I can figure out what really is important to me as right now. I don't have anything important. Baka. Zoroark blinked as the human ruffled her pup's fur. You have Sakura and Sasuke and me. Huh? What are you talking about? The blonde fur human asked, his Zoro ears twitching before his eyes widened and looked down. But, Sasuke and you are family and I know Sakura's parents are probably looking for her. This is all my fault, if I hadn't. No, it was a freak accident, but, now you have 3 friends. Psyduck. A Psyduck glared at the 2 humans. Oh, sorry. I mean, 4, no offense, huh, Psyduck. The dark-haired human smiled while laughing. But, seriously. Friends and family is what I think is the most precious. Since I lost my memory, I found friends are now the most precious to me. Yeah, but Sakura and Sasuke aren't my friends. In fact, the fox-eared human mewed as the dark-haired human rubbed his ears. Stop blaming yourself. Sakura and Sasuke were blaming themselves just like you are now. But, I promise to find a cure to what the Zoroark did to you. That way we can all go to the surface together. The dark-haired human chimed as Zoroark grinded her teeth. You are not taking my pup back into that pit of torture. Zoroark roared, jumping out of the tree line she had been hiding in and shocking both her pup and the human. What was that? The 2 other human around her pup's age ran out of the building. Her body began to glow red. Move. The dark fur human dragged her pup and the 2 other humans out of the way and in cover when she unleashed a sphere wave of red energy around her and it spread out to destroy a few of the buildings and some of the forest behind her. Nani? How'd do that? The pink fur human shouted as the oldest got in front of the group with the Psyduck. The dark fur human took in a deep breath. Help. Zoroark is attack our homes. Zoroark as well as her pup with the 2 young humans blinked at the human before the Psyduck's eyes glowed and several rocks lifted up with a blue-out light around them and shot towards her. She easily dodged them only to be shocked that somehow the human and got in next to her. Leave us alone. The human shouted while attempting to kick her in the side, but she dodged and the kick hit the ground to create a good-sized crater. I won't let you harm my sibling and his friends, or destroy the homes of my friends in the process. Homes of your friends? Zoroark asked in surprise before finding they were now surrounded by hundreds of Pokémon ranging from plant-looking ones, somewhat humanoid one, and even some that looked like objects. Stay out of this, all I want is my pup. Your pup? The older human asked. You mean, Naruto? The human pointed at the fox-eared human. Yes, I seen what he has faced in that human village. I am not about to let him suffer anymore. I lost a pup with similar fur and he never had a parent to begin with. So, I am taking him as my pup. Zoroark roared, furious. Taking him by his will and changing him is not what a mother does. The older human sighed before several green creatures Zoroark known as Bulbasaur launched several spinning sharp leaves at her which she dodged, but saw that the bamboo canteens she had in her mane came out. Vulpix. A small orange fox Zoroark knew as a Vulpix unleashed a blast of fire that hit the canteen and exploded into a large smokescreen of purple. Cough. Cough. Ah. What's going on? The older human wailed in pain as the 2 other humans also began to cry out as the fog covered the area. Sasuke. Sakura. Itachi. Are you alright? What's happening? Zoroark noticed her pup panicking, trying to drag the humans from fog as different Pokémon ran around in a panic. Act. Zoroark's eyes widened as she saw a stampede of shapes thanks to lower visibility went over her pup. No. Zoroark roared, unleashing another wave of red energy that cleared the smoke ran over to where she saw her pup went down and sighed in relief seeing he was struggling to get out between some stone that had shielded him and some of the humans from the stampede. Ack. The pup groaned before shivering when seeing Zoroark. Please, just don't hurt them. Zoroark's eyes widened in surprise at the tears in his eyes. I'm not. Her pup looked at her with shock before her 2 other pups came out of her mane and jumped onto her human pup. Big brother, play with us, the human pup yelped as the 2 Zorua had tackled him down. But, my friends, Zoroark looked at the humans who were out cold and trembling with a flush on the faces and instantly smirked at the symptoms. They will be alright, huh? Zoroark noticed the angry glares she was getting and looked around to pale at the damage she has done. If I promise to help repair the damage, would you all be pleased with that? I was blinded in anger at losing my new pup. Zoroark deeply bowed in apology as the other Pokémon sweated at the fox Pokémon before they heard a sneeze and saw a slight flash. Ah, some of the dust went up my nose. Zoroark turned around and her eyes watered in pure joy to see in the place of the human was a gold fur Zorua with blue marks and tips where red should be and it had 3 blue whisker-like markers on each cheeks. Nani, what happened to my Achu? In another flash, the human pup was back. Everyone around sweated as the human pup sneezed several more times, each time transforming, till stopping as Zorua again. Oh, sniff. Bless you. Psyduck sighed as all but Zoroark was wondering what the heck was going on. Cave Naru. So, you found they were in some sort of cave-in. The third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, sighed at the report Hatake Kakashi had given him. 3 children had been reported missing at the academy and now it seems they could have died in a freak accident. Yes, however, it seems they survived and moved away from where the cave-in happened and fell deeper into the caves. Hiruzen raised an eyebrow at the silver-haired Jonin before him. There's a wind coming up and it seems the spot they went into after the cave-in was a water tunnel and probably pushed them deeper into what appears to be a pretty large cave network. They are most likely alive as from the pooling water and the fact we found some fish means they at least have what they need to survive till we get down there to rescue them, especially with Naruto with them. Huh? Why? Hiruzen asked, though he cared deeply for Naruto, knew the boy hasn't been doing well in the academy. He may be a bit short on brains, but he is clever enough to know what to do when in a dangerous situation. I have seen his handiwork avoiding getting mobbed by the women in the baths after he accidentally got caught playing around in one of the back baths and the ladies confused him for a perv. Kakashi chimed, remembering that event well as he was relaxing in a tree before the blonde managed to outrun the furious mob of women. Oh, Hiruzen sighed, paling at the thought of another Jiraiya in Konoha. Then, go into the caves and find them. Hiruzen had 2 promises to keep. To protect Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, and he also did not want to lose the missing girl Hanuro Sakura as well. Well, that's the major problem. We are currently trying to find a part of the cave that isn't so weak or hazardous, though it seems they've probably gotten pushed into the safer area already, as with how much water had filled the spot where they went in. It is probably a source to a cave lake or something, thanks to my nin dogs heard rushing water as well under the ground where the cave-in happened. Kakashi sighed, it will take some time to find a safe route to them, though I at least figured out around the area where they should be at. I see, they really are alright and alive. Hiruzen smirked, wondering how he would get through his dull life full of dreaded paperwork without that little ball of sunshine. I do as well, Kakashi sighed, wondering how the heck the 3 kids even managed to end up over a weak part of a cave tunnel in the first place. Cave Naru. Sasuke groaned as he sat up, rubbing his head. What the heck, Naruto? Sasuke jumped up only to groan as his body ached. Get off. Sasuke blinked, hearing Naruto's voice. Yes. Sasuke. You're alright. Sasuke was shocked with a mess of blonde hair covered his face. I thought you were never going to wake up. Grr, Naruto. Get off. Sasuke managed to pull off the mob of blonde hair off his face only to blink as he found it was not Naruto's head, but a cute gold furfox pup that had blue markings and paws. Nani? Sasuke. Let go of me. The kid growled for Sasuke to look closer at it to notice he had the same eyes and whisker-like markings as Naruto. And Naruto? Sasuke shouted in shock, holding the fox under its front legs. Yeah, it seems that potion Zoroark gives me 2 forms. A Pokemon form and a human form with some of my Pokemon form, which is Zorua. Naruto sighed. Only different in this form from the normal Zorua is my fur coloring, markings, and the fact I can talk just fine as if in human form. So, you now became portable. Sasuke sighed while earning a glare from the fox that was Naruto. Shut you Pisihu. Naruto sneezed to transform back into his human form and accidentally squashed Sasuke. Oh, I'm back to normal, sort of, Naruto sighed, rubbing his nose. Get off, Sasuke grunted, trying to push Naruto off. Who is making all the racket? Sakura moaned, sitting up while rubbing her eyes. She looked at Sasuke and Naruto for her eyes to bug out. Sasuke? Naruto? You're gay? Sakura screamed, covering her eyes from the scene in front of her. No. Both boys shot away from each other. I'm straight. Naruto just fell on me. Sasuke shouted for Sakura to sigh in relief. However, Sasuke noticed something amiss. Huh? Sakura? Did you get your hair cut? What? No. Sakura touched her hair to feel it was different from before. Where's a mirror? Sakura asked, panic in her voice before seeing they were in the same building as before and saw a broken mirror near her and looked in it. She found her hair in a sort of bob cut with her bangs forming a round petal shape on her forehead and the sides of her hair forming 2 larger petal shape cut on the sides, and also atop her head was 3 actually thin leaves on the top of her hair that were green. Zoroark explained to me earlier that the smoke you all breathed in was the potion that made me get these, Naruto sighed, pointing at his ears. But, it used the DNA of the Pokemon that ran over us in the panic the smokescreen made, so you are all different Pokemon than me. Different Pokemon? Sakura asked, crying as she had a plant growing on the top of her head. That is correct. Sasuke and Sakura got up in a fighting stance when they saw the Zoroark from before standing near them. Though, if you hadn't been touched, you all would have been like my pup. Nani? Sasuke asked, narrowing his eyes before he blinked. Wait, you can speak our tongue? No, we can understand their tongue now, though Zorua and Zoroark can use telepathy. Naruto sighed as Sasuke and Sakura looked at him with shock. Though, I don't know which Pokemon you two are. Yawn. Good morning. Everyone sweated as Itachi had jumped up and stretched, with her ponytail yawning as it was now a large jaw as her bangs. Huh? Though her eyes were still a very light gray, her pupils black like they should be except they were oval shape. What the? Itachi rubbed her eyes and blinked a lot of times before opening her eyes again and tears came in her eyes. Sasuke, why is the back of your hair appears to be a Psyduck's butt? What? Sasuke blinked before seeing Psyduck walk past him and towards Itachi for him to realize what Itachi meant. My hair doesn't look like that. Sasuke growled before seeing Itachi running out of the building. Amazing. Itachi chimed, tears going down her face. This is beautiful. Itachi looked at the dome cave they were in and at all the buildings and forest around. I can see again. What are you shouting about? Zoroark sighed, sweating at why the human was so happy. No way. You're not longer blind, Sakura gasped in shock. Yes. Though things are blurry, I can see color. All the humans and Pokemon flinched when Itachi had ran into the wall. Ow, oops. Thought that was the opening to get back in, Itachi sheepishly chuckled. I can tell. Sasuke sighed. We need to get you to the surface so you can get some glasses. TCH. You are not going to the surface. All four humans looked at Zoroark in confused. You're important to my pup and I am not about to let him go back to the surface and suffer again. Your pup? Sakura asked before Sasuke and she noticed Naruto puffing out his cheeks. I'm not your pup, Naruto growled, baring his now canine-like fangs, though he sort of had fangs before as well. Stop calling me your pup. I am beginning to wonder if you are exactly my missing pup. Sasuke, Sakura, and Itachi raised an eyebrow as Zoroark sighed. 8 years ago, I lost my firstborn pup while up on the surface, stealing things humans no longer needed. A large 9-tailed beast I knew was not a Pokemon attack and I lost my firstborn pup and my mate. He also had blonde fur like you and your markings even match except for the whisker-like ones. Wait, you're saying Naruto was a Pokemon to begin with? Sakura shouted in shock. How is that possible? He's just a normal human like us. I'll show you. Zoroark pulled out her 2 other pups out of her mane before her body glowed purple and she jumped up, doing a black flip as her body morphed and landed as a perfect copy of Sakura. No way? Sasuke gasped, shocked at the illusion he was seeing. That's like the henge, but it was perfect as I don't sense even chakra being used as I remember earlier those Pokemon using chakra to use interesting moves. Zoroark jumped back up and flipped to turn back to normal while smirking. It is my ability as well as my pup's ability. We can create illusions which we have used to hide ourselves. What? But, if that's true, why'd I suck at the henge and genjutsu? Naruto groaned before smirking. Wait, since I am one now. Naruto concentrated before his body began glowing purple like Zoroark and jumping to do a black flip, but when he landed, he was Sasuke. Both Sasuke recoiled, though the real Sasuke did it not because Naruto had turned into him. What's with my ears? The real Sasuke panicked as Fake grinned and snickered. I guess you're a grass type as I also see green on Sakura, so you're both grass types. I heard about the potion thing, though it takes me a little bit to fully get going when I wake up. Itachi sighed before feeling her ponytail and realized it was a new mouth. Whoa, I'm a while. Who cares? My ears are leaves. Sasuke shouted, his ears indeed leaves that were droopy like sheep ears. It means you can possibly use grass type moves Pokemon use, since I am a Mawile, I am a steel type. Itachi explained. However, Zoroark, could you please return the book you stole so we can make an antidote for what you used? Itachi changed the subject. What are you talking about? I never took any books as I can't read. Sakura and the 2 Sasukes sweat in horror. The potion I used has been passed down from my parents and from their own parents and so one from back when Pokemon used to live with humans. Many Zoroark lived in isolation, but witches would live in harmony with us, asking only for us to use out illusion power to hide their homes and they let us live in their homes and give us free food. I know several potions just because of that. Then, what about a cure for this? Sakura asked, horrified she would be a plant head for the rest of her life. Cha! Though Sasuke's ears are simply adorable now and he will probably look like a handsome elf when he gets older, inner Sakura chimed, though also mad. There isn't one. Many of the witches used that potion to become Pokemon after the wars began to destroy the world Pokemon and humans knew as Pokemon ran and found whatever shelter they could find with the few humans related to us, most of us coming underground. The humans that followed us lived here for a good while, However, since there was so few, they used the same witch's brew to become Pokémon as well, or they died of disease or old age and humans became extinct down here. Though I must have messed up an ingredient or two and now you are like the way you are now. Zoroark then growled. However, I still go to the surface, collecting things, as even though I do not like humans, I do like the things they make. I saw my pup as a human being denied his existence by the village, and when I accidentally dropped my illusion to hide myself once, I was confused for a demon. Humans have completely forgotten about Pokémon in the past, in which caused the destruction of a world of peace and harmony between Pokémon and humans. So, we're stuck like this? Sasuke shivered as Sakura noticed something about Naruto's illusion of Sasuke. Hi. And even if you still want to go to the surface, I will not tell you where to go. I am the only one who knows how to get to the surface. Zoroark smirked as Sasuke glared at her. My pup will not be suffering anymore by the hands of humans, and I shall not let you three go either, as you are important to my pup. Hey, it's alright if they go. Sakura has family up on the surface. Naruto is Sasuke. With shocked most of the beings in the room, as Naruto also sounded like Sasuke, shouted. However, Naruto yelped when Sakura touched his tail, which was sticking out of the illusion, and Naruto jumped up and flipped gain for the illusion to become normal again. However, he snickered before blinking. Nani? Why am I snickering? It's a normal behavior for Zorua. Zoroark sighed, smirking. Is this possibly you reverting completely back to your old self, pup? I am not your pup. Naruto growled again in anger. I'm human. I can't be a beast. I'm not a monster. Naruto shouted, before trying to run out. However, Itachi caught him and kept him from running as tears went down Naruto's cheeks. Naruto. Pokémon are not monsters. Though they are animals, they have emotions and manners much like humans. Naruto looked at Itachi in shock. Plus, even if you were a monster, you're still you, though. Now my little bro, your female friend there, and I are also in the same boat. You're not alone. Naruto calmed down and let out a tired sigh. Okay. But, what Pokémon are we if Naruto's a fox and Itachi-san is a Mawile or whatever? Sakura pouted as Itachi walked over and got too close for her comfort before pulling out the device Itachi had before. Let's see. Oh, you're a Chirine. Itachi chimed, showing Sakura a cute bud-looking Pokémon which looked to be a weather doll. That's what I am. Sakura blushed at how cute the Pokémon was. Yeah, your hair now matches its head. Itachi chimed before getting real close to Sasuke to see him and frowned. I can't tell with you, Sasuke, with just the ears, it's impossible as there are a lot of grass types with leaves on them. That sucks. Sasuke pouted before noticing Naruto looking at the ground. Naruto, are you alright? I'm alright, I'm just tired. Naruto sighed, sitting down and looking depressed. Well, then we'll go back to the cave. Zoroark chimed before sweating at the glare she got from Naruto. No, I'm staying with my friends. Naruto roared as all sorts of bird and bug type Pokémon around the building flew or ran away in fear at the roar. Thanks for watch here.